What if right now, in another universe, you're living a completely different life? Maybe you're a famous actor, a billionaire, or even an astronaut exploring a distant planet. Sounds crazy, right? But what if science says it's possible? The idea of parallel universes isn't just science fiction, it's something real physicists are actually exploring. But here's the big question. If alternate realities exist, could we ever travel between them? Could déjà vu be a glitch between worlds? Stick around, because we're about to dive into one of the biggest mysteries of the universe, and you might never see reality the same way again. The multiverse concept. Have you ever stopped to think, what if there's another version of you, right now, living a completely different life? Maybe in some alternate reality you're a famous musician, a billionaire, or even an astronaut exploring Mars. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on. Science suggests that this idea might not be as far-fetched as it seems. The multiverse theory proposes that our universe is just one of many, an infinite number of realities where every possible version of your life plays out. In one universe, you might have taken that job offer you turned down. In another, you never even existed. It's like a cosmic choose-your-own-adventure book, but every choice actually happens in a separate universe. Why does this idea matter? Well, if alternate universes exist, it changes everything we know about reality, fate, and free will. What if our dreams, déjà vu moments, or gut feelings are actually glimpses of another version of ourselves living in a parallel world? What if those unexplained coincidences, meeting a stranger who feels oddly familiar, or predicting an event before it happens, aren't coincidences at all? The possibility of an alternate universe isn't just science fiction. Physicists, mathematicians, and even philosophers have spent years trying to crack this mystery. Could it be that we are just scratching the surface of something far bigger than we can comprehend? Buckle up, because the journey into the multiverse is about to get a lot deeper. Scientific theories of parallel universes. Okay, so let's get one thing straight. This isn't just wild imagination. There are actual scientific theories that hint at the existence of multiple universes, and they come from some of the brightest minds in physics. One of the biggest ideas, the many worlds interpretation. This comes straight from quantum mechanics, the branch of physics that deals with the tiny, bizarre world of particles. According to this theory, every time a decision is made, every single choice, no matter how small, the universe splits into multiple realities where every possible outcome actually happens. Right now, in some alternate universe, another version of you picked a different career, moved to another country, or even skipped watching this video. Then there's the cosmic inflation theory. Ever heard of the Big Bang? Scientists believe that during the very early moments of our universe, it expanded at an insane rate, like a balloon inflating super fast. This theory suggests that different parts of space might have inflated at different speeds, creating separate independent universes, each with its own laws of physics. That means somewhere out there could be a universe where gravity works differently, where light travels at a different speed, or where time itself doesn't even exist. And get this, some researchers even believe that black holes might be portals to other universes. When something falls into a black hole, it gets crushed into oblivion. Or does it? Some theories suggest that instead of being destroyed, that matter is actually transported to another universe entirely. So what does this all mean? If these theories hold up, then parallel universes might not just be possible, they might be inevitable. The real question is, will we ever find a way to travel between them? Implications of alternate realities. Now, here's where things get personal. If alternate universes really exist, then who are you? Are you just one version of yourself out of an infinite number of possibilities? Think about it. If there are multiple realities where different versions of you exist, does that mean your identity isn't as unique as you thought? Let's say you made a life-changing decision a few years ago. Maybe you quit your job, moved to a new city, or broke up with someone. According to the multiverse theory, in another universe, there's a version of you who made the opposite choice. That version of you might be living a completely different life right now. Maybe they're thriving, maybe they're struggling, but either way they exist. This also raises the question, how much of our lives are actually in our control? If every possible choice creates a new reality, then, technically, every version of your life is happening somewhere. Does that mean free will is just an illusion? Or does it mean that every decision, no matter how small, matters more than we ever realized? And here's something even weirder. What if we sometimes feel these alternate versions of ourselves? Have you ever experienced a moment where you knew something was going to happen before it did? or felt an unexplainable connection to a place you've never been before? What if those are glimpses of another reality bleeding into our own? If alternate universes exist, then your entire sense of self might be way more complicated than you ever imagined. Maybe you're not just you're part of something much, much bigger. Cultural and philosophical perspectives. The idea of parallel universes isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's something that has fascinated humans for centuries. Across cultures, religions, and philosophies, there have always been stories about other versions of reality. Take Hinduism and Buddhism, for example. Both traditions talk about the idea of multiple worlds and different versions of existence. In some interpretations, karma doesn't just affect your next life. It could also play out across multiple realities at once. Could these ancient beliefs be an early glimpse into what science is now exploring? Then there's philosophy. Ever heard of the what-if paradox? It's the idea that every decision creates an alternate path. Some philosophers believe that every choice we make splits reality, which means infinite realities exist, each one shaped by a different version of your past decisions. Sound familiar? That's basically the many worlds interpretation, but through the lens of philosophy instead of physics. And of course, we see the idea of alternate realities everywhere in pop culture. From Marvel's Multiverse of Madness to Stranger Things, from Rick and Morty to Interstellar, the concept of multiple universes is a storytelling goldmine. Why? Because deep down we all wonder, what if my life had gone differently? But here's the real kicker. What if these stories aren't just fiction? What if we're drawn to these ideas because on some subconscious level we know there's truth to them? Maybe, just maybe, the reason we love stories about parallel universes is because our minds are already connected to them in ways we don't fully understand yet. Technological advances. Alright, let's get to the big question. Can we actually prove that alternate universes exist? Right now, we can't exactly hop into a spaceship and visit Earth 2, or shake hands with an alternate version of ourselves, but that doesn't mean scientists aren't trying. One of the most exciting areas of research is quantum computing. Unlike regular computers which use bits, quantum computers use qubits, which can exist in multiple states at once. Some physicists believe that this strange behavior hints at parallel worlds interacting with our own at the microscopic level. Could quantum computers one day help us access these other realities? Then there's the Large Hadron Collider, the massive particle accelerator beneath Switzerland. Some scientists speculate that high-energy particle collisions could create tiny, mini black holes, which might provide evidence of other dimensions or universes. In other words, we might be closer than we think to unlocking the secrets of the multiverse. And let's talk about dark matter, the mysterious invisible substance that makes up most of the universe but doesn't interact with light. Some scientists believe that dark matter could be leaking in from parallel universes. Imagine that. What if an entire hidden reality is right next to us, but we just don't have the tools to see it yet? The bottom line? We might be on the verge of one of the biggest discoveries in history. If alternate universes exist, science will find a way to prove it. And who knows? Maybe one day, we'll find a way to travel between them. The allure of the unknown. So after all of this, where does that leave us? Is there really another version of you out there living a different life? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the thing. The possibility alone changes everything. Think about it. If alternate universes exist, it means every choice you've ever made has played out somewhere. Every dream you've had, every risk you didn't take, every what-if moment, it all exists somewhere in the vast multiverse. And if that's true, then what does it say about the life you're living right now? What if we're more connected to these alternate realities than we realize? What if those strange moments, déjà vu, vivid dreams, unexplainable instincts, aren't just random, but glimpses of something bigger? What if the universe isn't just a place but a network of infinite possibilities, all playing out at the same time? One thing's for sure, the more we learn about the universe, the more mysterious it becomes. And whether or not we ever find proof of the multiverse, one thing is undeniable. The search for answers is what makes us human. Because in the end, we aren't just looking for other universes, we're looking to understand our own. The idea of alternate universes is mind-blowing, but what if it's more than just theory? What if every choice, every possibility is playing out somewhere right now? Science is getting closer to unlocking these secrets, so who knows what we'll discover next? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, Make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-expanding content. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let's keep exploring the future together. See you in the next one. Nuclear weapons possess a destructive power so immense that a single warhead can obliterate an entire city in seconds. Today, the combined arsenal held by global powers could wipe out humanity multiple times over. This terrifying reality is often hidden behind statistics and political rhetoric, but its consequences are very real. The true scale of nuclear weapons is not just measured in explosions, it's measured in lives lost, futures erased, and a planet forever scarred. When it comes to nuclear weapons, there are no winners, only survivors. Unimaginable blast power. Nuclear weapons unleash energy on a scale that defies ordinary understanding. The bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945 released energy equivalent to about 15,000 tons of TNT. But modern thermonuclear weapons can be hundreds or even thousands of times more powerful, measured in megatons, millions of tons of TNT. To grasp this, consider that 1 megaton could level an entire city in seconds. The blast wave alone travels faster than the speed of sound, flattening buildings and incinerating everything in its path. The intense heat generated can reach tens of millions of degrees Celsius, hotter than the core of the sun, causing fires that rage uncontrollably for miles. This immense power is why nuclear weapons are categorized as weapons of mass destruction, capable of erasing entire urban areas instantly. Unlike conventional explosives, nuclear blasts release energy through nuclear fission or fusion, processes that unleash far more energy per unit mass. This is why even a single modern warhead can cause devastation on a scale unmatched by any other weapon in history. The sheer destructive force is not just about the blast but also the radiation and heat that follow, making survival near the epicenter nearly impossible. The scale of this power forces us to confront the terrifying reality of what nuclear war would mean for humanity and the planet. Immediate human casualties. The human toll of a nuclear explosion is staggering and immediate. Within seconds, the blast wave can cause fatal injuries to thousands, if not millions, depending on the population density of the target area. The intense heat causes severe burns and ignites fires that consume everything combustible. People caught near the epicenter suffer catastrophic injuries from flying debris, collapsing buildings, and the overwhelming force of the explosion. But the devastation doesn't stop there. Radiation released in the initial explosion causes acute radiation sickness, which can kill survivors within days or weeks. The combination of blast, heat, and radiation means that even those who survive the initial impact face life-threatening conditions. Emergency medical services would be overwhelmed, and infrastructure destruction would cripple rescue efforts. Historical data from Hiroshima and Nagasaki show that tens of thousands died immediately, with many more succumbing later due to radiation exposure. The scale of casualties in a modern nuclear strike would be far greater due to the increased yield of today's weapons and the density of urban populations. This immediate human cost is a grim reminder of why nuclear weapons remain the most feared instruments of war ever created. Long-term radiation effects. Radiation from a nuclear explosion is a silent killer that lingers long after the initial blast. When a nuclear weapon detonates, it releases a deadly mix of radioactive particles that contaminate the air, soil, and water. This fallout drifts with the wind, spreading toxic radiation far beyond the blast zone. Exposure to this radiation can cause severe health problems, including cancer, genetic mutations, and chronic illnesses that affect survivors for decades. The environment suffers too. Plants, animals, and entire ecosystems can be devastated, with some areas becoming uninhabitable for generations. The infamous Chernobyl disaster, though not a nuclear weapon, offers a glimpse into the lasting damage radiation can cause. Exclusion zones remain today, and wildlife has adapted in eerie ways to the contaminated landscape. In the aftermath of a nuclear strike, survivors face not only physical wounds, but also the psychological burden of living in a poisoned world. Decontamination is a massive challenge, and the invisible nature of radiation makes it an insidious threat. This long-term impact underscores why nuclear weapons are not just a momentary disaster but a catastrophe with consequences that ripple through time and space, affecting countless lives and the planet itself. Global climatic impact. The detonation of multiple nuclear weapons could trigger a global catastrophe far beyond the immediate destruction. Scientists warn of a phenomenon called nuclear winter, where the massive fires ignited by nuclear blasts send soot and smoke high into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight from reaching Earth's surface. This dramatic drop in temperature could last for months or even years, devastating agriculture worldwide. Crops would fail, leading to widespread famine and threatening the survival of billions. The disruption of weather patterns would cause droughts in some regions and floods in others, creating a domino effect of environmental chaos. This isn't just theory. Computer models and historical data from volcanic eruptions support the possibility of such a climate disaster. The global impact of nuclear war extends far beyond the targeted cities, affecting even those countries not directly involved. The idea that nuclear weapons could trigger a planetary crisis adds a terrifying dimension to their destructive power, reminding us that their use would be catastrophic not just locally but for all life on Earth. Destruction of infrastructure. Nuclear weapons don't just kill people, they erase entire cities from the map. The blast wave generated by a nuclear explosion is so powerful that it can demolish skyscrapers, bridges, roads, and critical infrastructure within seconds. Power plants, hospitals, communication networks, and transportation systems are instantly wiped out, leaving survivors isolated and helpless. The heat from the explosion ignites fires that merge into massive firestorms, consuming everything flammable and making rescue efforts nearly impossible. Without roads or communication, emergency services cannot reach those in need, and the chaos spirals out of control. The destruction extends underground as well, damaging water and sewage systems, leading to contamination and disease outbreaks. In modern cities, where infrastructure is densely packed and interconnected, the ripple effects of such devastation would cripple entire regions economically and socially. This level of destruction means that rebuilding would take decades if it's even possible. The obliteration of infrastructure highlights the fact that nuclear war is not just about immediate loss of life. It's about annihilating the very foundations that support human civilization. Psychological and societal trauma. The aftermath of a nuclear explosion goes beyond physical devastation. It shatters the human psyche and society itself. Survivors face unimaginable trauma from losing loved ones, homes, and communities in an instant. The psychological scars, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, can persist for generations. Entire populations may be displaced, forced to live as refugees in unfamiliar and often hostile environments. Social structures collapse as governments struggle to maintain order amid chaos, leading to lawlessness and further suffering. The fear of radiation sickness and the invisible threat of contamination add layers of anxiety that permeate daily life. Children growing up in these conditions inherit a world marked by loss and uncertainty. Historical accounts from Hiroshima and Nagasaki survivors reveal how communities struggled to rebuild, not just physically but emotionally, grappling with grief and stigma. This societal trauma underscores that nuclear weapons don't just destroy cities, they fracture the very fabric of human connection and resilience, leaving wounds that no amount of reconstruction can fully heal. Current global nuclear arsenal. So the world today holds over 12,000 nuclear weapons, enough to destroy humanity many times over. Despite decades of disarmament talks, major powers like the United States, Russia, China, and others maintain vast arsenals, and each warhead is capable of unleashing catastrophic destruction. These weapons, are not relics of the past. They're active, ready to be deployed within minutes. The existence of such stockpiles means the threat of nuclear conflict remains a chilling reality. Even a limited nuclear exchange could trigger devastating consequences far beyond the battlefield, affecting millions of innocent lives. Countries continue to modernize their nuclear forces, investing billions in new delivery systems and warheads, which really signals that nuclear weapons remain central to global military strategy. This precarious balance of power is often described as deterrence, but it also carries the risk of accidental launches or miscalculations that could spiral into full-scale war. The sheer scale and readiness of these arsenals force us to confront the uncomfortable truth. The potential for nuclear catastrophe is not a distant threat, but an ongoing danger. Understanding the true scale of today's nuclear weapons stockpiles is essential to appreciating the urgent need for global cooperation and disarmament efforts to prevent a disaster that could end civilization as we know it. Escalation risk and accidental war. The terrifying speed at which nuclear decisions must be made creates a constant, lurking danger of accidental war. Nuclear-armed nations often operate on launch-on-warning policies, which means that a perceived threat, even a false alarm from a malfunctioning sensor, could trigger a full-scale retaliation in just minutes. Throughout history, there have been numerous documented near-misses, technical glitches, misinterpreted radar signals, or, believe it or not, even a flock of geese mistaken for incoming missiles, all of which brought the world frighteningly close to nuclear catastrophe. In these split-second scenarios, human judgment is absolutely paramount, but under such immense pressure, errors are not just possible, they're actually probable. A localized conflict between non-nuclear states could easily draw in nuclear powers, escalating rapidly beyond conventional warfare. Once that nuclear threshold is crossed, the chain of events becomes almost irreversible, as each side reacts to the other's actions, leading to a tit-for-tat exchange with unimaginable global consequences. The very nature of nuclear deterrence, which is designed to prevent war through mutual assured destruction, simultaneously carries the inherent risk of an unintended global holocaust sparked by miscalculation, miscommunication, or, honestly, just a simple technical glitch. The threat of nuclear proliferation. The spread of nuclear weapons to more countries represents, without a doubt, one of the greatest dangers facing humanity today. While a handful of established nuclear powers have maintained their arsenals for decades, the desire for these ultimate weapons of deterrence is, well, tempting for other nations seeking regional dominance or security guarantees. As more countries acquire nuclear capabilities, the global risk of their use escalates dramatically. Each new nuclear state introduces new geopolitical rivalries, new potential flashpoints, and new decision-makers who might not, adhere to the same strategic doctrines or safety protocols as the established nuclear powers. Furthermore, the more widely nuclear technology and materials are dispersed, the greater the chance that they could fall into the hands of non-state actors or terrorist organizations who might not be deterred by the threat of retaliation. The nuclear taboo, that global norm against using nuclear weapons, becomes increasingly fragile with each new member of the nuclear club. This proliferation not only increases the likelihood of a nuclear attack but also heightens regional instability, forcing neighboring states to consider developing their own deterrence and creating a dangerous escalating arms race with no end in sight. Economic costs of maintaining arsenals. Maintaining and modernizing nuclear weapon stockpiles diverts staggering sums of money that could otherwise address pressing global challenges. Each year, nuclear-armed nations collectively spend tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars on their nuclear programs, covering research, development, production of new warheads, maintenance of existing arsenals, and the infrastructure to support them. These are not just one-time expenses, but continuous multi-decade commitments that lock in immense financial outlays. Just consider what this colossal investment could achieve if it were redirected: alleviating extreme poverty, funding universal healthcare or education, combating climate change, or investing in sustainable energy solutions. Instead, these vast resources are poured into weapons designed never to be used, yet constantly requiring upgrades and oversight. The opportunity cost is immense. Every dollar spent on a nuclear missile is a dollar not spent on a vaccine, a school, or a clean energy project. This hidden economic burden of nuclear weapons is often overlooked, yet it represents a significant drain on national budgets and a missed opportunity for human development and global well-being. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the devastating true scale of nuclear weapons here on InnoVision Tech. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest tech insights and thought-provoking content. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Together, let's explore how technology shapes our world and the future. Stay curious, stay informed, and see you in the next video. The world's most powerful militaries don't just rely on size. They combine technology, strategy, and innovation to dominate on a global scale. Did you know that the United States spends more on its military than the next 10 countries combined? This staggering fact highlights how military power shapes international influence and security. So which countries do you think make the top 10 list of the world's most powerful militaries? Let's dive in and find out. United States. When it comes to military power, one nation stands head and shoulders above the rest: the United States. Its military strength isn't just about numbers. It's about a combination of cutting-edge technology, massive resources, and global reach that few can match. The United States defense budget dwarfs every other country's, fueling advanced weapons systems, stealth aircraft, and a vast network of naval fleets that patrol every ocean. This means the United States can project power anywhere on the planet, responding quickly to crises or conflicts. Beyond sheer firepower, the United States military invests heavily in intelligence, cyber warfare, and space capabilities, ensuring it stays ahead in modern warfare domains. The branches, from the Army and Navy to the Air Force, Marines, and Space Force, work seamlessly together, creating a versatile and adaptive force. Its personnel are highly trained professionals, supported by extensive research and development that constantly pushes the boundaries of military innovation. Whether it's the latest fighter jets, nuclear submarines, or advanced missile defense systems, the United States military sets the standard. This dominance is also backed by strategic alliances like NATO, amplifying its influence worldwide. Simply put, the United States doesn't just have a powerful military, it defines what military power means in the 21st century. China. When discussing rising military giants, China's rapid transformation demands attention. Over the past few decades, China has aggressively modernized its armed forces, turning what was once a primarily manpower-heavy military into a high-tech powerhouse. Its focus isn't just on quantity but quality, developing advanced missile systems, stealth fighters, and a formidable naval fleet that challenges traditional dominance in the Asia-Pacific region. China's expanding navy, including aircraft carriers and submarines, signals its ambition to control vital sea lanes and assert influence far beyond its borders. But it's not just about hardware. China invests heavily in cyber warfare and space capabilities, aiming to dominate future battlefields in new domains. The country's military budget, second only to the United States, fuels this rapid growth and innovation. What makes China particularly formidable is its strategic approach, combining technological advancement with sheer scale, backed by a massive pool of personnel ready to defend its interests. This blend of modernization and manpower creates a military force that's not only powerful but also flexible and increasingly capable of projecting power globally. As China continues to expand its reach, its military evolution reshapes the balance of power, making it a key player on the world stage that no one can afford to ignore. Russia. Few countries evoke as much military mystique and raw power as Russia. Its military strength is deeply rooted in a legacy of vast nuclear arsenals and advanced missile technology that continue to shape global security dynamics. Russia's approach to military power blends traditional might with modern innovation, maintaining one of the largest stockpiles of nuclear weapons in the world. Beyond nuclear capabilities, Russia excels in ground forces equipped with some of the most battle-tested tanks and artillery systems, reflecting decades of experience in diverse terrains and conflicts. Its air force boasts advanced fighter jets and strategic bombers capable of long-range missions, while the Navy operates powerful submarines and surface vessels that secure its interests in key maritime regions. What sets Russia apart is its strategic emphasis on asymmetric warfare, including cyber operations and electronic warfare, designed to disrupt and destabilize opponents without direct confrontation. This multi-dimensional approach allows Russia to punch well above its weight on the global stage. Despite economic challenges, Russia's defense industry continues to innovate, producing cutting-edge weaponry that rivals Western technology. Its military presence in Eastern Europe and the Arctic underscores its ambition to maintain influence in critical geopolitical hotspots. Simply put, Russia's military power is a complex blend of sheer firepower, strategic innovation, and historical resilience, making it a formidable force that commands respect and caution worldwide. India. When it comes to sheer manpower and growing military influence, India is rapidly emerging as a global powerhouse. With one of the largest active military forces in the world, India combines vast human resources with a strategic push toward modernization. Its defense budget has steadily increased, fueling advancements in missile technology, naval expansion, and cyber warfare capabilities. India's military isn't just about numbers. It's about evolving into a versatile force ready to tackle 21st century challenges. The country's focus on indigenous weapons development and space-based defense systems highlights its ambition to reduce reliance on foreign technology. India's strategic location, bordering several volatile regions, demands a military that's both robust and adaptable. Its experience in high-altitude warfare, counterinsurgency, and peacekeeping operations adds to its operational depth. What makes India's military particularly compelling is its balancing act, maintaining traditional ground strength while aggressively investing in air power, naval assets, and emerging technologies like drones and artificial intelligence. This blend of scale, strategy, and innovation positions India as a key player in global security dynamics. As India continues to expand its military capabilities, it's clear that this nation is not just defending its borders but shaping the future of military power in Asia and beyond. United Kingdom. When considering military forces that punch above their weight, the United Kingdom's armed forces stand out. Despite its relatively smaller size compared to some global giants, the UK military possesses a potent combination of advanced technology, highly trained personnel, and significant global reach. This isn't just about historical legacy, it's about a modern fighting force capable of projecting power and influence across continents. The UK maintains a sophisticated array of assets, including nuclear-powered submarines that form its continuous at-sea deterrent, along with advanced fighter jets and highly versatile naval vessels like its aircraft carriers. Its special forces are renowned worldwide for their elite training and operational effectiveness in complex environments. What truly defines the UK military is its emphasis on professionalism and its pivotal role in international alliances, most notably NATO. This allows it to leverage combined strength and participate in joint operations that extend its capabilities far beyond its national borders. The UK's commitment to defense research and development ensures its forces remain at the cutting edge of military innovation, adapting to new threats and technologies. From cyber warfare to peacekeeping missions, the British Armed Forces remain a highly respected and capable entity on the global stage, demonstrating that true power isn't solely about size, but about strategic depth, training, and technological superiority. France. Few militaries combine versatility and global influence quite like France's armed forces. Known for their ability to operate across diverse environments from deserts to jungles, the French military stands out for its strategic reach and technological sophistication. France is one of the few countries with an independent nuclear deterrent, underscoring its position as a major global power. Its air force operates advanced fighter jets like the Rafale, capable of multi-role missions, while its navy boasts a powerful aircraft carrier and nuclear submarines that extend its influence far beyond Europe. What truly sets France apart is its active role in international peacekeeping and combat operations, often leading missions in Africa and the Middle East. This experience in real-world conflict zones sharpens its military readiness and adaptability. Additionally, France invests heavily in defense innovation, including cyber warfare and drone technology, ensuring it remains at the forefront of modern military capabilities. The French military's blend of tradition, cutting-edge technology, and global engagement makes it a force to be reckoned with. Whether responding to crises or projecting power, France's armed forces demonstrate a unique combination of strength, flexibility, and strategic vision that keeps them among the world's most powerful militaries. Japan. When it comes to military forces that, blend advanced technology with a strong defensive posture, Japan's self-defense forces are truly impressive. Despite constitutional limitations that restrict offensive capabilities, Japan has built one of the most technologically sophisticated militaries in the world. Its focus is heavily on maritime security and missile defense, which is really crucial for protecting its island nation in a volatile region. Japan's navy operates some of the most advanced destroyers and submarines, equipped with cutting-edge sonar and missile systems designed to detect and neutralize threats before they reach its shores. The Air Force fields modern fighter jets like the F-35, enhancing its ability to respond swiftly to any aerial threat. What makes Japan's military particularly unique is its integration of high-tech industrial innovation with defense strategy, supported by strong partnerships with allies, especially the United States. This collaboration, honestly, boosts Japan's deterrence capabilities without violating its pacifist principles. Additionally, Japan invests heavily in emerging technologies such as cyber defense and space surveillance, preparing for future warfare domains. The disciplined, well-trained personnel combined with advanced equipment make Japan's military a formidable guardian of its national security. In a region where tensions can escalate quickly, Japan's self-defense forces stand as a powerful example of how technology, strategy, and diplomacy can can combine to create a resilient and effective military force. South Korea. When it comes to military readiness combined with cutting-edge technology, South Korea stands out as a nation that takes its defense very seriously. Facing constant threats from its northern neighbor, South Korea has developed a highly capable and technologically advanced military designed to deter and defend. Mandatory military service ensures a large, well-trained force ready to mobilize quickly, while continuous investment in modern equipment keeps its forces sharp. South Korea's military excels in missile defense systems, advanced fighter jets, and a growing naval fleet that protects its strategic coastlines. The country is also a leader in integrating new technologies like drones, cyber warfare, and electronic warfare into its defense strategy, making it a formidable player in modern conflicts. What makes South Korea's military particularly impressive is its ability to combine mass mobilization with sophisticated technology, creating a balanced and resilient force. Its strong alliance with the United States further enhances its capabilities, providing access to advanced intelligence and joint training exercises. In a region marked by tension and unpredictability, South Korea's military stands as a powerful deterrent and a symbol of national resilience, ready to protect its sovereignty with both strength and innovation. Germany. When it comes to European military powerhouses, Germany's armed forces play a crucial role on the continent and within NATO. Known for their precision, discipline, and advanced technology, the German military combines high-tech equipment with strong logistical capabilities, making it a backbone of European defense. Germany invests heavily in modernizing its army, air force, and navy, focusing on interoperability with allied forces to ensure seamless cooperation during joint missions. Its army fields state-of-the-art tanks and armored vehicles, while the Air Force operates advanced multi-role fighters and transport aircraft. The German Navy, though smaller than some, is equipped with sophisticated submarines and frigates designed for both defense and international operations. What truly distinguishes Germany's military is its emphasis on technology and efficiency, backed by a robust defense industry that produces cutting-edge weaponry and systems. Germany also plays a leading role in peacekeeping and humanitarian missions worldwide, showcasing its commitment to global security beyond traditional warfare. Its strategic location in Europe means that Germany's military is not only defending its own borders, but also contributing to the stability of the entire region. With a focus on innovation, training, and alliance building, Germany's armed forces remain a vital and respected element of the world's most powerful militaries. Turkey. When thinking about militaries that combine size, strategic location, and growing technological prowess, Turkey's armed forces are impossible to overlook. Positioned at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Turkey wields significant influence both regionally and globally. Its military is one of the largest in NATO, boasting a well-trained and experienced force that has been actively engaged in various operations, from counter-terrorism to peacekeeping missions. Turkey's defense industry has rapidly expanded, producing indigenous drones, armored vehicles, and missile systems that have gained international recognition. This domestic innovation allows Turkey to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers and tailor its military capabilities to specific strategic needs. The Turkish military's versatility is evident in its ability to conduct complex operations across diverse terrains, from mountainous borders to urban environments. Its strategic location also means Turkey plays a vital role in controlling key maritime routes and land corridors, enhancing its geopolitical significance. Moreover, Turkey's investment in cyber warfare and electronic warfare capabilities shows a forward-thinking approach to modern conflict. Combining a large, motivated force with cutting-edge technology and strategic positioning, Turkey's military continues to grow in power and influence, making it a formidable player on the global stage that demands attention and respect. The world's most powerful militaries don't just rely on size. They combine technology, strategy, and innovation to dominate on a global scale. Did you know that the United States spends more on its military than the next 10 countries combined? This staggering fact highlights how military power shapes international influence and security. So which countries do you think make the top 10 list of the world's most powerful militaries? Let's dive in and find out. What if I told you that every single atom in your body was forged inside the nuclear furnace of a dying star billions of years ago? You're literally made of stardust. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, and the oxygen you're breathing right now all came from massive stellar explosions that scattered these elements across the universe. Here's the mind-blowing part. You have more in common with a distant galaxy than you do with the Earth beneath your feet. But did you know there's one element in your body that's even more mysterious than stardust itself? The mysterious detection. What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, there's something out there in the cold darkness of space that's completely rewriting the rules of physics? Voyager's instruments didn't just pick up another space rock drifting through the void, they detected something that made NASA's top scientists question everything they thought they knew about how objects move in space. This wasn't your typical asteroid following a predictable gravitational dance around distant stars. No, this thing was moving with what can only be described as intention, accelerating when it shouldn't, changing direction without any visible force acting upon it, and exhibiting behavior patterns that had the entire scientific community in an uproar. The initial data was so bizarre that Mission Control actually ran multiple system diagnostics, convinced that Voyager's 40-year-old instruments had finally malfunctioned. But every test came back clean, confirming that what they were seeing was real. This object was moving through the cosmic void like it had somewhere to be, following a path that defied our fundamental understanding of celestial mechanics. The movement patterns were so unusual and purposeful that they immediately ruled out every natural explanation in the book, leaving scientists with a terrifying question. If this isn't natural, then what exactly is controlling it? Voyager's incredible journey. 47 years ago, when disco was king and nobody had even heard of the internet, humanity launched what would become the most successful spy mission in history. Except this spy wasn't watching other countries, it was watching the entire universe. Voyager didn't just leave Earth's neighborhood, it became our first ambassador to the cosmos, traveling so far that sunlight takes over 22 hours to reach it, making it literally the most isolated human-made object in existence. This incredible machine has survived cosmic radiation that would fry your smartphone in seconds, temperatures that would freeze nitrogen solid, and the mind-bending emptiness of interstellar space where there's less than 1 atom per cubic centimeter. While you've been living your entire life, going to school, starting careers, maybe even raising families, Voyager has been silently cruising through the void at 38,000 miles per hour, sending back data that has completely revolutionized our understanding of planets, moons, and the very structure of our solar system. It's witnessed the volcanic eruptions on Jupiter's moon Io, discovered new moons around Saturn, and provided the first close-up images of Uranus and Neptune that still blow scientists' minds today. But here's the truly mind-boggling part. Voyager is now so far from home that it's actually swimming through the interstellar medium, the space between star systems where no human-made object has ever ventured before, making every single piece of data it sends back a first-time discovery about regions of space we never dreamed we'd explore. The object's strange behavior. Every law of physics that Isaac Newton wrote down 300 years ago just got thrown out the window by something moving through space like it's playing by completely different rules. This wasn't some predictable space rock following the boring mathematical dance that every other object in the universe performs. This thing was accelerating when it should have been slowing down, turning corners in the vacuum of space where there's literally nothing to push against, and exhibiting movement patterns that made seasoned astrophysicists question their entire careers. The data showed acceleration bursts that couldn't be explained by solar wind, gravitational slingshots, or any other natural force we know about, almost as if the object had its own internal engine firing at will. Even more disturbing, it was changing course with precision that suggested either some form of advanced propulsion system or, and this is what kept scientists awake at night, intelligent control guiding its path through the cosmic void. The movement wasn't random or chaotic like you'd expect from a tumbling asteroid. It was deliberate, calculated, and purposeful in ways that immediately ruled out every natural explanation in our textbooks. When Mission Control plotted its trajectory, they discovered it was following a path that seemed to have specific destinations in mind, accelerating towards certain regions of space while avoiding others, behavior that was so erratic yet intentional that it forced the scientific community to confront a terrifying possibility. What if this object wasn't just moving through space, but was actually being piloted by something with intelligence far beyond our understanding? ruling out known phenomena. When NASA's brightest minds started crossing items off their cosmic checklist, they realized they were dealing with something that shouldn't exist according to everything we know about space. This wasn't a planet. Planets don't suddenly change direction mid-orbit like they're avoiding traffic. It wasn't an asteroid. Asteroids don't accelerate without being pushed by something, and they certainly don't emit their own energy signatures like this object was doing. Comets were ruled out immediately because there was no tail, no ice sublimation, and no predictable behavior as it moved away from or toward any star. The spectral analysis came back showing a composition that didn't match anything in our extensive databases of space rocks, metals, or ices that we've cataloged over decades of space exploration. Even more puzzling, traditional space debris follows predictable trajectories based on the gravitational influences of nearby celestial bodies, but this object seemed to be completely ignoring the gravitational pull of everything around it, moving as if it was generating its own propulsion system. The energy readings were perhaps the most disturbing part. Natural space objects are essentially dead rocks floating through the void, but this thing was actively producing electromagnetic signatures that pulsed and fluctuated in patterns that suggested either advanced technology or completely unknown natural processes that have somehow escaped our detection for centuries. Every conventional explanation that scientists threw at the data came back negative, leaving them with the uncomfortable realization that they were dealing with something that existed outside the boundaries of known physics and astronomy. The Oumuamua connection. 7 years ago, something visited our solar system that made scientists question everything they thought they knew about interstellar visitors. And now Voyager's discovery is bringing back those same terrifying questions with twice the intensity. Oumuamua, that mysterious cigar-shaped intruder that appeared in 2017, didn't just pass through our cosmic neighborhood. It accelerated away from the sun in ways that completely violated the laws of physics, exhibiting non-gravitational forces that had astronomers scrambling for explanations that never quite added up. The similarities between Oumuamua and this new Voyager detection are so striking that it's impossible to ignore the connection. Both objects moved with purposeful acceleration patterns that couldn't be explained by solar radiation pressure, outgassing, or any other natural phenomenon we understand. What's even more chilling is that both objects seem to follow their own rules, moving through space as if they were equipped with some form of advanced propulsion system that operates on principles we haven't discovered yet. The timing can't be coincidental. First, Oumuamua shows up acting like nothing we've ever seen, and now Voyager detects something exhibiting similar impossible behavior in the depths of interstellar space. Some scientists are beginning to wonder if we're dealing with a pattern here. Perhaps multiple objects from the same source, or even a coordinated exploration of our region of the galaxy by intelligences that have mastered interstellar travel. The fact that both objects appeared to be studying or surveying their surroundings while maintaining trajectories that seemed deliberately planned has left researchers with the uncomfortable possibility that we're not just witnessing random cosmic phenomena, but evidence of systematic exploration by something far more advanced than ourselves. Advanced instrument analysis. When a machine that's been traveling through space for nearly half a century suddenly starts screaming warnings about something it's never encountered before, you know you're dealing with something extraordinary. Voyager's sophisticated array of scientific instruments, the same ones that discovered active volcanoes on Jupiter's moons and revealed the true nature of Saturn's rings, all went haywire when this mysterious object passed through their detection range. The plasma wave detector, which measures the electrical activity in space, registered energy patterns that were so unusual they didn't match anything in NASA's massive databases spanning decades of space exploration. The magnetometer, designed to detect magnetic fields from planets and stars, picked up electromagnetic signatures that pulsed and fluctuated in rhythmic patterns that seemed almost like a heartbeat, suggesting either incredibly advanced technology or natural processes that we've somehow missed in all our years of studying the cosmos. Even more disturbing, the cosmic ray detector showed energy readings that defied explanation. This object wasn't just passively drifting through space like every other piece of cosmic debris, it was actively generating its own energy field that interacted with the surrounding interstellar medium in ways that challenged our fundamental understanding of physics. The data streams coming back to Earth were so anomalous that Mission Control initially thought multiple instruments had malfunctioned simultaneously, but repeated diagnostics confirmed that Voyager's systems were working perfectly. Meaning whatever this object was, it was producing energy signatures unlike anything humanity had ever detected in the vast emptiness of space. Scientific theories and debates. The moment this data hit the desks of the world's most brilliant astrophysicists, the scientific community erupted into chaos like nothing seen since Einstein first proposed relativity theory. Emergency conferences were called, peer review processes were fast-tracked, and researchers who had spent their entire careers studying conventional space phenomena suddenly found themselves grappling with evidence that challenged the very foundation of modern astronomy. The theories started flying faster than the object itself. Some scientists proposed it could be a fragment of exotic matter from a neutron star collision, while others suggested it might be a piece of advanced technology that had been drifting through interstellar space for millions of years before Voyager stumbled upon it. The debates became so intense that academic friendships were strained and research teams split into opposing camps, with one faction insisting there had to be a natural explanation we simply hadn't discovered yet, while another group courageously suggested we might be witnessing our first encounter with artificial intelligence from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Special committees were hastily formed to analyze every byte of data, bringing together experts in fields ranging from theoretical physics to xenobiology, all desperately trying to make sense of readings that seemed to violate everything we thought we knew about how objects behave in the vacuum of space. The scientific method itself was being tested as researchers struggled to apply earthbound logic to phenomena that might originate from intelligences operating under completely different technological principles than anything humanity has ever conceived. Implications for SETI and extraterrestrial life. The moment this discovery reached the offices of SETI researchers, phones started ringing at 3 in the morning and emergency meetings were called that would fundamentally change humanity's approach to searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. For over 6 decades, SETI has been listening to the cosmos with radio telescopes, hoping to catch a whisper of alien communication. But Voyager just handed them something infinitely more significant: potential physical evidence of non-human technology actively moving through our galactic neighborhood. This wasn't just another mysterious radio signal that could be explained away as a pulsar or cosmic background noise. This was a tangible object exhibiting behavior patterns that suggested artificial intelligence or advanced propulsion systems operating in the cold vacuum of interstellar space. The implications are staggering. If this object is indeed of extraterrestrial origin, it represents the first concrete proof that we're not alone in the universe, and that other civilizations have not only survived long enough to develop interstellar travel capabilities, but have actually deployed technology sophisticated enough to navigate the vast distances between star systems. SETI researchers are now scrambling to recalibrate their entire search strategy, shifting from passive listening to active detection of physical objects that might be exploring our region of the galaxy. The discovery has sparked intense debates about whether we should attempt to communicate with or intercept such objects, raising profound questions about humanity's readiness for contact with intelligences that have clearly mastered technologies we can barely comprehend, let alone replicate with our current scientific understanding. The cover-up controversy. What happens when a discovery is so earth-shattering that governments decide the public isn't ready to handle the truth? The unusual secrecy surrounding Voyager's mysterious detection has conspiracy theorists and legitimate researchers asking the same uncomfortable questions about what's really being hidden from us. Unlike typical space discoveries that are immediately shared with the global scientific community, this detection triggered an unprecedented level of classification, with crucial data being locked away in secure facilities and only sanitized versions being released to universities and research institutions. The timing of the information blackout is particularly suspicious. Within hours of the initial detection, multiple government agencies swooped in to take control of the data analysis, citing national security concerns that have never been fully explained to the public. Whistleblowers within NASA have quietly suggested that the object's behavior patterns and energy signatures were so advanced that releasing the full data could cause mass panic or provide hostile nations with insights into propulsion technologies that could revolutionize warfare. Even more disturbing are reports that similar detections have occurred multiple times over the past decade, but have been systematically suppressed to prevent public awareness of what might be ongoing surveillance or exploration of our solar system by non-human intelligences. The cover-up has become so extensive that researchers who attempt to publish papers about the detection find their funding mysteriously cut or their security clearances revoked, creating a chilling effect that has silenced many scientists who might otherwise speak out about what could be the most important discovery in human history. The ongoing investigation. Right now, as you're watching this video, teams of the world's most brilliant scientists are working around the clock in underground facilities, using supercomputers and artificial intelligence systems to decode what might be humanity's first glimpse of extraterrestrial technology in action. The investigation has expanded far beyond NASA's original team, now involving international collaborations between space agencies, military intelligence units, and private research corporations who are all desperately trying to understand what Voyager encountered in the depths of interstellar space. Advanced computer models are running millions of simulations, attempting to reverse engineer the object's movement patterns and energy signatures to determine not just what it is, but where it came from, and whether there might be more of them out there. Radio telescopes across the globe have been quietly redirected to scan the regions where the object was detected, while space-based observatories are being reprogrammed to search for similar anomalies that might have been overlooked in previous data. The most shocking development is the classified planning of future missions specifically designed to intercept and study these mysterious objects if they're detected again, with prototype spacecraft already being developed using experimental propulsion systems that could theoretically match the acceleration patterns Voyager recorded. Intelligence agencies are reportedly analyzing the object's trajectory to determine if it was conducting surveillance of our solar system, while xenobiologists are studying the energy patterns to see if they match any theoretical models of how advanced alien technology might operate, all while maintaining absolute secrecy about their findings. So there you have it, Voyager's incredible discovery that's challenging everything we thought we knew about what's moving through the cosmos. Whether this mysterious object represents our first encounter with extraterrestrial technology, or a completely new type of natural phenomenon, one thing is certain: we're living in the most exciting time in human history for space exploration. What do you think this object could be? Are we witnessing evidence of advanced alien intelligence? Or is there a natural explanation we haven't considered yet? Drop your theories in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your thoughts. If you enjoyed diving into this cosmic mystery, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest discoveries from InnoVision Tech. Until next time, keep looking up.